Gemini. Hello. I'm Chris. Welcome to your November reading. So, a little bit different energy from last month, right? I'm not quite singing and dancing. Not that I'm not singing and dancing in life, but I just feel, I don't want to say a somberness. I just did Aquarius, and I kind of used the word seriousness. And that's along the lines of what I'm getting at here. Last month we talked a lot about worth. Like taking happiness seriously. And I feel like the place we're in right now, the reason why I feel this like kind of giddiness, happiness to talk to you guys, but also like this air of heaviness. I think right now, Gemini, is a time when sacrifices need to be made. And if not just sacrifices, then at very least like refinement or polishing of a lifestyle. All right, we have the first quarter moon moving into the full moon. But Gemini, right? Balance, light and dark, happiness, fun, and still a little heaviness. But ultimately, before I keep going into that, because I don't want to be a downer, because I think that what's going on here is that we're really prepping for the amazing things that are going to happen, right? We're moving towards a full moon. We're moving towards a place of fulfillment, of satisfaction, of getting all the things that we've wanted, that we've worked for, like internally and externally. And now, like, that's when I think that it's coming external. I think that the work we've been doing inside, the work that we've been doing in private, in our heads and our hearts, our thoughts are like leveling out. Our thoughts are calming, starting to make more sense. The way forward is starting to make more sense. And why I say like seriousness or somberness is that there does need to be an accurate taking of stock of the way you've been doing things. A sort of maturity, Page of Cups. An emotional maturity that needs to be embraced. That accepts, on the one hand, love and happiness and friendship, and like he's got his fucking cup out, right? He's not at home being like boring. He's like, more sir, more wine, sir. I don't know why I said it that way, but you know what I mean? It's that worth that we've been fostering, the sense of us that for some reason kind of needs to tell ourselves that we deserve the things that we desire. And now has to also be willing, besides just demanding those things, but also kind of has to pay the price for those things, right? Whether that's in letting go of a habit, letting go of a relationship of some kind, letting go of something that was comfortable, just something that maybe demands a different, not more of an investment of your energy, but a different kind of investment in your energy, of your energy. This is what's being asked of us, Gemini, in November. To not see maybe having to pull back in certain ways as having less than, but actually almost leading to greater things. Especially when it comes to love and relationships, right? Venus retrograde in Libra, but also when it comes to our passions, right? That kind of love, the things we love to do, the things that fill our cups, makes us feel joy. Makes us feel joy, Ace of Cups. Your cup overfloweth. In November, Gemini, there's a happiness. You see, this is like what happens when, you know, Saturn, I think of Saturn energy here because the way that Saturn like builds by refining, makes something better by limiting it. Where has your energy been going? This doesn't necessarily have to mean another person. This could be an emotional state, right? Feeling so down, kind of depressed, and now making the choice to not be in that place anymore, to not wallow in feelings of loneliness, to not wallow in feelings of disappointment, but to recognize what we have to work with and recognize that we're ready for something new. The Page of Cups is ready for something. Both of these cards are cards of newness. Everything here so far, Gemini, all signs pointing to new things, to newness, to happiness, to satisfaction and fulfillment coming your way. It's just a matter of patience. It's a matter of work. It's a matter of looking at the bigger picture. Now, there's no way we can deny this. Like, maybe two of the most prominent cards in the whole tarot that indicate new love. So if you are looking for a relationship, November is a great month to get out there and be social and to feel good about yourself. And that's what I was getting at before, right? About sacrificing and refining, right? It's about feeling good about yourself. It's about depression. If you feel depressed, if you feel like low self-esteem, it's not just like there's something wrong in your head or in your emotional state, right? You need to prove to yourself what you're capable of, like in the real world. Self-esteem is in many ways something that has to be earned. You don't kind of get to feel great about yourself and get to feel like your life is on track and you're doing great things and you're killing it when you're not doing dick. There's an element here that's, yes, emotional, but that demands like grounding in reality. It's time to right now, Gemini, kind of prove to ourselves, right, our worth. Last month we started talking about feeling the worth, and now we have to prove it to ourselves. I'm going to start paying attention to this because when I notice when I shuffle and I see cards that they tend to mean something, both of these cards I noticed as I was like cutting the deck. Ten of Cups in reverse. What a difference here, right? If this was upright, I would say the completion of a cycle, right? Potentially like marriage, potentially building a family, potentially a relationship moving to its next stage. But then why is this in reverse? After these positive cards, after these cards of like abundance. You know what, Gemini, I think you're not sure that you want it. I think with the Ten of Cups in reverse, there's almost like a reluctance. A fear of like the joy. I mean, but come on, look at all this pleasure. Look at all this potential emotional like fulfillment. But for some reason, still holding back, Gemini. For some reason, there might be, and this might be something you want to explore if you're having troubles in love and finding a relationship that works for you. I would say look at issues that stem from childhood, that stem from your growing up, from your family. Because to me, this can mean like family issues, family baggage. But also, I think, Gemini, if you haven't really been like connected to your family, I think that this is what this is asking you to do. I think that this is, especially for November, for the beginning of the holidays, an indication that like the domestic world, the part of you that feels loved unconditionally and has maybe been looking for that in relationships, has to recognize how it's already kind of all around you. I really think this is a month for passions. This is a month for both love and career, like being poppin'. But look, we have the King of Wands in reverse. There's such a lack of really embracing the power, Gemini. There's a lack of focus here. There's almost an uncertainty. I think if you are feeling uncertainty about where you're going or what you want out of life, do look back at childhood, right? Think about those dreams that you had when you were younger. Think about what you thought was possible when you were less jaded, when you might have been less angry, when you may have been more optimistic, might have felt more in control of your life. And now maybe what's happening in life is that there's been a lot of factors that have made you feel not quite like yourself, made you feel like question your competence, question your ability to survive and thrive, question your ability to like make your dreams come true. And there's pain and anger there. And I think that's what it comes down to. I think that's what the blockage is here, Gemini. I think that's why there's almost this call to reconnect to family, to reconnect to source of unconditional love. To balance out your emotional state, because that King of Wands, man, he is not making me feel good. He's making me feel violent. He's making me feel angry, bitter, hopeless. Have you been angry, Gemini? Has your anger and your sadness clouded your way forward a bit? Made you feel just less than? And I think what needs to happen now, Gemini, is a conscious understanding of the things that you've been through, and a refusal to accept circumstances, to accept bad emotional states as an indication of who you are and what you're capable of. Yeah, I know we've been down. I know we've been feeling like acting out and lashing out and isolated and really, really craving, almost begging the universe to just send some happiness our way, send some emotional stability our way. And this month we're finding that. But it's calling on us to be our best Gemini selves, to be sharp, to be Like I think of this card as a card of meditation. And you know how meditation, part of what you do there is you separate yourself from your life and your circumstances, right? You see yourself in such a bigger way. You see the bigger picture, right? So that you having a bad day, you meditate, and sometimes things that come up in meditation make you realize, like, you know, paying a bill late is almost like so insignificant to the grandeur of who you are. And in the scope of things is almost meaningless. And the only way it gets meaning is in how you learn how to deal with those feelings, how you become calm and centered and honest with yourself first and foremost, right? This is a card of getting the fuck out of delusion. Getting out of escapism as a way of coping. Getting out of lying. And Gemini, you know, our sign gets such a reputation for lying. And when I say that, I don't mean like you're telling mistruths to people. It's like you're not being honest. You're not standing in your truth in some way, right? If you are getting by financially, but it's because you're like borrowing tons of money, that's what I mean by lying. If you're trying to make something work that you know just doesn't work anymore, that's what I mean by lying. Convincing yourself to stay in a living situation, convincing yourself to stay at a job, convincing yourself to stay in a relationship that you've known for a long time, you've outgrown, it's lying. But you're not doing it, Gemini, out of like malice. You're doing it out of hurt, out of fear. But this is a private thing that happens, right? Yes, the results are going to show up in the world, but the reconciling, the facing the fear is not about going out and telling everybody, hey guys, I've been lying, like I'm actually broke. It's about doing the thing inside of yourself that turns that around for you. You know, leveling with yourself about what is really necessary right now for you to take it to your life to the next level. Because Gemini, like, what did I say about like passion? This is a month where the passions are big. Love, sex, creativity, loving life. There's like, we're looking at these cards together, there's almost like a return of your mojo. I just mean that in a sexual way. I think that's part of it, of course, right? When you start to feel good about yourself and you've been feeling like TMI, but 3-month celibate, hi. By choice, because you know why? Because there needed to be this clarity. There needed to be a getting back in touch with myself. Like getting out of my anger that other people kind of put there. Not that you're not responsible for it, Gemini, but you're reacting to something that is kind of, in my opinion, caused by something outside of yourself. And now we're done with that, right? We want what's better. We want what's new. We want what's invigorating. Invigorating. Knight of Cups, Page of Wands. What cards of bravado, of power, of passion, of like lusting, but like lusting of the heart. Venus going back into Scorpio once it goes direct, right? The things that give our lives meaning, the thing that gives our life purpose, excitement, stimulation, right? We're a sign that needs a lot of stimulation. Do you get stimulation now by drama, by anger, by sulking and disappointment and isolation? Or do you get it by actually like moving your ass? Because remember, Six of Pentacles, you get what you give. Karma is coming on hard to us right now. Saturn and Capricorn energy has been around for a little while, but can I just tell you, like, it's making it so hard to lie. Lie to ourselves anymore. Venus retrograde making us harder to lie to ourselves emotionally. Saturn and Capricorn making it harder for us to lie to ourselves about our finances, about our status in life, about our health, about like what kind of career we've been dicking around in too long and not really going after the things that actually make us happy and fill us up. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Wands. So again, I think there's been a lot of isolation. I think there's been a lot of pulling back, protecting yourself. But that's good, right? What I was just saying about this LVC thing, it's like I don't have time right now. I'm working on stabilizing my energy. I'm working on, advancing my career, on personal growth, on my expansion of my domestic world, of improving that, just like improving my fitness, all these things. And the last thing I need is a demonic man coming into my life and fucking with that. So the point of this is, Gemini, I think that the work you've been doing is stabilizing you. You are stabilizing. Six of Pentacles is a card of charity, but to me it's also a card of really well-balanced material energy and structure. You see even the design of the way they're perfectly balanced on top of one another. Stability. If you've been struggling with money, right, this also comes after the Five of Pentacles. So if you've been struggling with money, this month is going to see your finances improve. If you've been struggling with connecting to people, this month sees it improve. This is the work we've been doing, Gemini. And last but not least, the Seeker. The whole world in front of us. It's like, have you ever been so lazy for so long, or just like so distracted? Let's not say lazy, but so distracted where you have these things you want to do, but your friend calls you to go out for a drink and you're there, and you're supposed to go to the gym today, and then like this you end up on a 2-hour FaceTime call with like your mom or whatever it might be, where there's like this buildup of things that you want to do, and it's almost like every time you have a little time to yourself, there's not enough time to you don't know what to do, because you have this long list of things that you want to do. And this is what this is making me feel like, is that energy of just all this pent up desire, all this pent up ways of wanting to be in the world. This is like wanting to take vacations. This is like wanting to travel. This is about wanting to date and be in love. This is like this buildup of desire, and that's now like bursting. By the end of the month, guys, especially when Venus goes direct again, when Jupiter moves into Sagittarius, right? The sign directly across from us, we've had Saturn in Sagittarius for a long time, and now we're gonna have that harsh motherfucker Saturn, and now we have this benefic king, Jupiter, coming to bestow abundance and luck and fortune in our relationships, in our purpose. Let's pull some outcome cards. Moving forward, the end of this year, Gemini, I think is going to be actually really emotionally settling. I think you're going to feel a little bit of a high. I think you're going to feel a little bit of a rush. I think that there's going to be excitement for the new year to come, and it's not just based on like, you know, just the customary like new year new me kind of thing, but you're actually going to feel things in motion. You're going to feel the wind in your hair. You're going to feel that connection. You're going to feel the drive, the rumble of the wheels under your feet. It's going to be real. It's going to be visceral. It's going to be exciting. So that like emotional passion turned into movement, turned into action. Ace of Swords. What did I say about the clarity of thought? This is a new attitude, Gemini. This is making the conscious choice to be different than you've been. To not just be different, but to be better. This has been something that's been in my head a lot, right? Sometimes making change is hard because you get used to your identity being a certain way. And letting go of that identity doesn't necessarily mean that part of you is gone. If you're a person who likes to have fun, pulling back to focus on your career isn't like losing something when you think about it as like, now when my career is fucking lit, I can party even better. I can be in Mykonos, bitch. Instead of like the bar in the corner of West Hollywood. Do you think this is ringing personally for me? But you know what I mean? It's a new attitude. It's a new excitement. It's a new, like a period of blessings, a period of clarity, a period of cutting away things that don't make sense anymore. This is like the death of the old ego. And I don't feel sad, I don't feel heaviness, I feel light. I feel like a cool breeze just blew into that space that was made by cutting some bullshit out. It's like taking a deep breath of fresh air. For the first time in a long time. Taking a big drink of cold water. Refreshing. Soothing. I almost don't want to stop this reading because it's been so good. Like, so good. Lots of people here, right? But I don't think this is... I think that this is about other people in terms of socializing. I think there's a lot of potential here for romance and dating. So if you are single and looking to, like, meet people, November is an excellent month to just get out and socialize, right? It doesn't have to be bars or clubs or whatever. It could be dating apps if that's your thing. I think it's more about being in places that make you have fun, have a good time. Like being with your friends a lot is what I feel, or being with family a lot. There's a lot of interpersonal connection here for Gemini in November, but that starts all in a purging of the old shit, of the pain and the anger, and choosing to be different. Choosing, like, yes, this sword is given to you as a blessing from the powers that be, but choosing to take it and what that means and what it implies by you taking it, what responsibilities you now have, what like bullshit you can't get away with anymore, what kind of lies you can't get away with anymore. All right, so we're gonna pull a rune card to see where do we go from here. This is the rune Awas. This is the rune of the horse. It represents... And I mean, Gemini, do you see us in this card? Partnership. It's a card of... It's a rune of the things that you're able to accomplish when you sort of join forces with other people, right? I said a big month of connection. Connection in all forms. Connection in friendship, connection in family, and I think a romantic connection. And that's when Gemini feels strong, right? We're the connectors of the zodiac. We're air. Air flows everywhere. We're all breathing it at the same time. You're breathing the same air as like your fave celebrity or whatever, right? Right now, in real time, we're breathing it, right? We're connecting. So Gemini, but in order, I think, to connect with other people, you have to know what it is that you have to offer and recognize your worth. Because if you're approaching somebody else who has worth and you want their worth to kind of like affect you and your worth, you have to be someone that they want to work with too, right? You have to be somebody that whose company they enjoy as well, who nourishes them, who has ideas and has things that you bring to the table. And you can't present yourself that way when you're feeling this way. But you can when you're here, and you know what you have to offer, and you're smart and stable and grounded and lucid. So Gemini, partnering up in November. Great month for dating, great month for friendships and socializing, great month for improving your relationship if you're already in one, right? Like bringing an element of fun and mutual support to all areas of your life, right? But again, it starts with a balanced and centered you. All right, Gemini, website is a work in progress, but so I still have private readings on my Etsy page. That's in the description. Description of the cards will be there as well. I do have a link to my PayPal account. If you like this channel and you get something out of the readings, any donations are much appreciated, and I love you forever for it. Also, my Instagram is there. Check that out as well. But Gemini, I know there seems to be like still this period of transition, but I think that what we need to take away from this more than anything is that the worst has kind of passed. And I mean that in like a big way, like not just for November. Like the years of struggle, the confusion, the heartbreak, that's for now behind us. Will there be another time where we're heavy and confused and angry and sad a lot? Yeah, maybe. But for now, we're entering a new era. Like a brand new chapter of our life. Like, you're going to look back at this time 4, 5, 6 months from now and think like, who the fuck was that? I don't know her. Like, your life is going to just look so different. So brand new. So progressed. But like, also look at this time of as a time of kindness to yourself, right? Of learning, of, yeah, you were struggling and you fucked up a lot maybe, and maybe you went back to people you shouldn't, or kept yourself in situations you shouldn't, or stayed in some kind of situation longer than you should have. But you learned, you grew. But now is the time to move in the direction of pleasure and happiness, and like real pleasure, not cheap thrills. We're done with that for now. Cheap thrills have their place and their time. And there will be the time for it. By the end of this year, you're going to want to celebrate. We're going to be partying into the new year, Gemini. Guaranteed. But for now, if you have to just pull back and set some stuff aside and really get clear, really get stable and balanced, let go of this anger, let go of this disconnect, make conscious efforts to move in the direction of your pleasure and your passion, you're set. 2019 is going to be like the dopest year ever. All right, guys, I love you more than you'll ever know. You are my favorite. You are everything. I'm just so hyped now. I'm really actually, like, it almost felt like I was reading for myself, and I can't really read for myself that well because you're biased, right? But reading for Gemini almost got me to read for my, like, I saw what I've been going through so much and what's happening, and now I'm just like really excited to see the way the energies were shifting, because like we fucking earned it, guys. we kept our fucking head up. And we tried to smile whenever we could, right? We tried to not burden other people with our heaviness that we might have been feeling. And now it's not gonna have to be fake smiles anymore. I love you, Gemini. You take care of yourself. Have like the most amazing month ever, because you deserve it. Okay. I'm gonna go now.